We've left the Lake Havasu area where we visited an authentic Western town and experienced some incredible boondocking. Now we're exploring the area around Parker, Arizona. Hi, we're Mark and Paula. We love scenic drives. Honestly, some of the areas in Arizona seem, well, a little brown. But this drive is nice. The brilliant blue water of the Colorado River, palm trees, and red rocks that line the highway make it beautiful. Throw in the unique backdrop of desert mountains and, yeah, I don't mind this drive at all. Parker, Arizona sits right on the Arizona-California border. Its arid climate and opportunities for outdoor activities make it a popular spot for snowbirds. We're looking to visit some unique attractions in the area. We always look for great boondocking spots that are scenic and close to things we can see and do. I'm excited to be here because this area fits the bill. The town of Parker is actually located within the northern corner of the Colorado Indian River Tribe Reservation, which straddles the Colorado River. Our base camp is across the state line in California. We'll be boondocking on BLM land, which is only 5 minutes from the town of Parker. We call this a bear burrito in Colorado. We were able to find a spacious spot with a view and settled in. Being so close to the border of states that don't share the same time zone, we've been pretty confused. Even our watches don't know what time it is. On our way to check out Parker Dam, we ran into this. We love old buildings, so we stopped. The old mercantile company is all that remains of the town of Crossroads. Once having 3,000 residents during the Great Depression, the town was the home to workers building the Parker Dam and the aqueduct for the Metropolitan Water District during its construction. During its heyday, it was a rough place to live, with several deaths going unsolved. We continued along the California side of the Colorado River to check out Parker Dam. This is truly a man-made structural marvel. This one is particularly special. Although you can only see 85 feet of the dam's structural height, 73% of the total height is below the original riverbed, making the dam 320 feet high. The deep excavation was necessary in order to reach the bedrock on which the foundation of the dam was built. This makes it the deepest dam in the world. Yes, you heard me right. The deepest dam in the world. It's deceiving. It's crazy to think that this was built during the Great Depression. It was built to regulate the Colorado River and created Lake Havasu. About half of the power generated at the Parker Dam is used to pump water from the Colorado River along the Colorado River Aqueduct. We love to boondock and to find that perfect spot that gives us some breathing room with a view. But this means we'll always have to be on the lookout for places to fill water and propane. This place is a one-stop shop and makes it convenient to take care of all of our business. Our Colorado friends Steve and Diana sent us this to let us know they're on their way to meet us in Parker. Can you guess where they are? While we waited for them to get here, they gave us a couple of ideas on things to check out in the area. An old cottage once owned by Wyatt Earp and his wife Josephine was only a few miles from where we camped. Our GPS tried to send us up a road that wasn't even passable, but we finally made it there by taking the old Parker Road. Wyatt Earp, legendary lawman, gunfighter, gambler, and businessman, lived in this house from 1925 until 1928 with his wife Josephine. Wyatt mined in the Whipple Mountains to the north. It was considered happy times for the couple and was the only permanent residence they owned. The house is restored and sits on private property. There's no tours, only a plaque to let you know the historical significance of the building. Vidal itself kinda looks like a ghost town. With only 40 or so residents, the area is dotted with abandoned buildings. The hub's spot in an old cemetery, and since we find these full of historical treasures that give you a sense of the area's past, we checked it out. These desert cemeteries all look old to us. They're unkept and raw. When we went to leave, our tire hit a bush and punctured it. We had gotten a late start to our adventure, so daylight was quickly disappearing. We're hoping we'd have enough light to see our next stop. We're heading back across the border into Arizona to see Poston Memorial Monument. The monument was built in the summer of 1992 through mostly volunteers. It marks a site where nearly 18,000 persons of Japanese ancestry were interned during World War II. Most of these people were U.S. citizens. From May of 1942 to November of 1945, they were forcibly evacuated by the U.S. military on grounds that they posed a threat to national security. The monument sits upon ground granted by the Colorado River Indian Tribal Council. Financing for the monument came from donations from survivors themselves or from their descendants. There were 3 Poston War Relocation Center camps. The 30-foot concrete pillar symbolizes unity of spirit, and the 12 small pillars around the monument makes it a working sundial. The trees and landscaping were donated by Camp 1 detainees and their families. The bronze plates outline the history of the internment camps. The monument is small but incredibly beautiful. We got there just in time to catch the last bit of light. The sunset drive back into Parker was beautiful, and we celebrated with some Mexican food. The next day, we loaded up Julius in the back of the truck and headed towards a ghost town. We took Shea Road to get there. This was another area that you'll see some boondocking. There are several trails to ride here, but be careful. You'll need to have a permit to be on tribal land. You'll need to get a permit every year. If caught without one, you'll run the risk of getting your ride confiscated by the tribal wardens. There are Arizona State Trust lands here too, so a permit is needed to ride these as well. The town was built around copper mining and processing. Mining began here in 1862, but it wasn't really booming until the construction of the Arizona and California Railroad line between Wickenburg and Parker. Seeing the potential, Newton Evans and Thomas Jefferson Kerrigan secured investments and began building. A 305-ton capacity furnace, 3.5-mile pipeline from Bill Williams River, and a hoist for 5 mine shafts were under construction by the end of 1908. In 1909, the town had a population of 500. When the railroad began operating from Baus, people and supplies were able to move more freely. Financial problems set in by 1911, forcing the mine to close for a bit. The American Smelting and Refining Company bought the mines in 1914 and rebuilt much of the town. The new owners ran the mines until 1937, when the Great Depression closed the mines for good. Weather and vandalism has plagued what remains. In addition to the preserved worker cottages, many foundations and mine shafts remain. We were disappointed with the amount of vandalism here. We're still looking for the place that we can give a shout out for exceptional food. We seem to be having the best luck with food truck food. Steve and Diana finally made it to Parker. A campfire is the perfect complement to a good conversation. But this night we were in for a crazy surprise. We noticed what looked like a jet contrail that was turning red, but how could that be? It was dark. This amazing whatever it was began to flare.
It's too long now. I did get it earlier.
Wow.
I was looking on Facebook to see if it tell me what that is. Yeah, excuse me. Finding things out.
At first, we didn't know what it was. Wow. Some of the best things we see while being on the road are the ones we don't plan. Diana did some texting to find out what it was. We've been doing our fair share of eating out here. Our travels included shout-outs to restaurants with exceptional food and great service. You know, the ones that you dream about revisiting years later. We found some good food, in fact, some of it very good, but nothing that earns our criteria to earn a shout-out. So today we're going to Steve and Diana's Choice in Restaurant. For some time, Diana has been bugging me to show the food we eat. She says people want to see it. Again, we're having this conversation, but we've already eaten. So Steve offers a strategy on how to remember.
So immediately following the prayer, so as not to forget photographing your food, think about taking a picture of your food right after the prayer. So it's a 1-2 punch.
I'll take your phone and I'll go ask those people if we can take a picture of their food.
It's too late. He's already taken a bite.
Aw, man.
So I zoomed in from our table to capture some of the plates. If you enjoyed this, you have Steve and Diana to thank. Last week we showed you Bunker Bar, a little oasis in the desert. This week we'll show you Nellie's Saloon, also known by most as the Desert Bar. We passed on going to this when we were in Quartzsite. It was a pretty long ride and the weather was cold at the time. From this road it's only about 5 miles. I love the concept of these places. A destination with a little off-roading. They're open fall through spring on Saturdays and Sundays, high noon to sunset, even on most holidays, but bring cash. They have metal sculptures, a chapel, vintage vehicles, and live music. There are even some trails to hike and rocks to climb. And the food? Well, the service was slow, but the garlic fries are to die for. And I forgot to take pictures. This is a busy place. It would be hard to be here and not talk more about Crit. It stands for the Colorado River Indian Tribes. Established by the federal government in 1865, it was initially for 2 tribes living in the area. In the 1940s and 50s, some families from the Hopi and Navajo tribes were relocated and added to CRIT. They have significant water rights, allowing them to divert water from the Colorado River. They grow crops like cotton, alfalfa, and sorghum. In 2023, there were 525 tribal casinos. So having one here is not so unusual. The casino isn't just a resort and a place to gamble, it's the conference area for the tribes to meet. Outside each meeting area, you'll find the native dress and artwork associated with each tribe. The displays are beautiful. We're not gamblers, but we are always looking for a good deal. Steve and Diana told us that we could get good deals on food here by signing up for a casino card. The card also gives you money to gamble with too. There's a number of places to eat here, and if you check their website, you can find out their specials and ask for them. We ended up eating there several times. The food was good, but still it didn't meet our criteria for a shout out. I remember to take pictures of the food. Aren't you proud? I even snuck in a photo of somebody else's plate. Being along the Colorado River, a gorgeous location by the way, the casino has a marina. In addition to the pool and gym, there's live entertainment, a movie theater, and arcade. Somewhere there's a golf course, but we didn't see that. Like many casinos, this one caters to RVs. You have 3 choices: dry camping in the parking lot, or you can dry camp along the river, but you have to pay a little more for this one. But you will have access to the pool and gym. Or you can pay for spaces with full hookups. I've put links in the description if you want to know more. Like we said, we're not gamblers, but the hubs wanted to use the $5 credit that was on our casino card. You look for slots that allow free slot play. The pin is assigned to you when you sign up for the card. We were obviously challenged by this activity. You have to put money in the slot, but you get it back. Well, at least the hubs did. When I tried, I lost what I had put in. I don't think we're cut out for this. I have to say though, the people here have been well versed in hospitality. They were very friendly. If you saw our video on Quartzsite, you know that I didn't want to look at the RVs for sale because I thought it would make me discontent with what we had. Miss Kitty had been very good to us, but Steve and Diana wanted to look, although they weren't planning on buying anything. So again, the hub said, let's go look. Guess what? Next week's video is on what not to do when you buy an RV.
A guy walks into a bar. That made him disqualified from the limbo contest.